So in the last video, we basically left off at what happens to products and people in the world, and what goes on when you see this phenomenon taking place. And so we wanted to get to that in this video about how people and products are similar and what happens when they enter the world based on their are they going to be popular or unpopular. So let's get to it. Let's say you have let's say we have the world out here. I'm going to try to draw a world. Let's say this is the world, and people go into the world, and they want to be accepted in here. So let me get a different color here. Let's say they want to be the goal for everyone is obviously to get accepted and loved and nurtured and all those things. That's what we're all striving to achieve, a sense of identity, a place, acceptance. Well, a product is trying to find its place in the world too, and so is a brand. The difference, what happens with people and how they're or not the difference, but the similarities between a person and a product is when a company makes a product, let's say product B, they make it with a certain way that they're trying to fit this group of people's pain or problem. They're trying to find a tribe or a group of people on this planet that want this thing and they love it. And that's what they're trying to find and have the money to pay for it, obviously. So if I were to make this is the like a heart here, very bad heart, but if this is the goal, is to get people to love this product and admire it and so on and so forth, and it goes out in there and it gets rejected. It's similar to here what happens on the playground. The difference with what a company can do is the company will what they will do is try to fix the product. They will try to fix this product and do what? They will try to make it. They will adapt that to try to fit with these people with what it is they want. So they'll modify the product. Maybe they'll put a beard on it to change its presentation. Maybe they'll change the channel that it's in. Maybe they'll change some of the characteristics of the product itself. Maybe change its hands, its feet. Maybe change its eyes, make them more attractive or something. Maybe make it a nicer product or whatever and give it some different hair or something. They try to change the messaging on it. Maybe it's, um, you know, got some incorrect messaging, whatever. They change these things and they try to get acceptance because they want to be popular, right? Like this one was, like the down here, like the iPad, right? So if the iPad is like a person, they want to seek popularity. Why? Because popularity in the business world or in the product world, if it's built at a profitable, place, equals money, and everybody knows that popularity equals money. Here's the similarity I'm trying to draw between products and brands and people, and where there's a disconnect with what people try to do is the difference is if this is your product, you can fix it. You can adjust the presentation, the channel, and the product itself, and try to get it to fit for your audience and try to make it connect here. What happens though is when you go down that path with this product, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe you can get it to fit, and then you get acceptance, and then you get a market acceptance, and then you can get some money out of there for that, and you've aligned more closely to what the audience wants from your product, and you found the right desirable features and values and personality and so on and so forth, and so you get acceptance. Now, this is the difference I'm trying to show with where this goes wrong with how that thinking that gets drawn over into the world of people. Is people will try to do the same thing, and this is where this comes from. Is this peer group experience here on the playground or at home when they're sitting at home with mom and dad and you know, they if they have acceptance from mom and dad, and they feel loved and accepted, they get some support mechanism going on there between these. But here, if they don't get it, what do? People do something very interesting. They create what's called a false self. They create an image or a persona in order to do what? To gain love, acceptance, or whatever deficit that they're experiencing as a person. So they try to become something, by modifying their looks, their personality, their whatever it is, because they're not feeling that they're a fit here. So they will try to adjust and adapt themselves just like a product would, and they create this, and they're not being authentic, and so they create this false identity, this false sense of self, and they lack this thing right here with this authenticity, and they're not being themselves, and so they think the version of themselves or whomever they are, how they are, is not good enough. And so, since that's not good enough, they want to escape the feeling of loneliness and rejection and all these other things that they're getting, loneliness and rejection and just isolation. And so they want to avoid that, of course, because that's pain. And so they go to fix themselves, and they realize they're not being welcomed or adjusted, so they just get more rejection, which creates more of this isolation and more rejection and more of the same, which damages their self-esteem. So that's the difference I want to draw between what people do is to modify themselves as if they were a product in order to be accepted, whereas they might just be talking to the wrong audience. They might want to just try a different group of people and change, and just go as what they were originally, not fix anything, other than if there's things that are driving people away from them or whatever. And they might then be accepted here, and appreciated and loved, and they can be themselves. They don't have to modify anything, and they get this that they're after, and that's acceptance. And I'll go over um, how the false self gets people in trouble, and in the next video. So I just want to keep these short. I'm out of time, and thank you.